Once upon a time, in a desert, lived a predatory wolf known for hunting and tearing apart any animal it encountered. One day, the wolf searched high and low in the mountains and the desert but couldn't find any prey. Being very hungry, it thought of going to a nearby village to catch a chicken or a rooster. However, the wolf was afraid of dogs, which were the enemies of wolves, and hesitated to approach the village. While tired, hungry, and walking slowly, the wolf noticed a rabbit sleeping next to a tree in the distance. The sight made the wolf ecstatic, thinking that it could catch the rabbit without waking it up and have a meal. The wolf knew that rabbits were usually sleepy and vulnerable to predators, but they possessed sharp ears and quick feet, making it challenging for the wolf to catch them if they were alerted and ran away. Hence, the wolf cautiously approached the rabbit, taking slow and measured steps. Once close, it stood triumphantly and addressed the rabbit, saying,
"Oh, rabbit! How could you sleep so deeply? Don't you realize that sleeping excessively won't get you anywhere?"
The wolf mockingly continued,
"How are you, rabbit? Why don't you come to me?"
Startled awake, the poor rabbit realized it was trapped and couldn't escape. It understood that the wolf wouldn't show any mercy, considering its hunger and ruthlessness. However, the rabbit didn't lose its composure and decided to find a way out. It knew that the wolf wouldn't be appeased by flattery, so it devised a plan to exploit the wolf's greed. With a calm demeanor, the rabbit replied,
"Greetings, wolf. I've always been eager to meet you. After all, you are a powerful and esteemed figure in this forest, and it's only fitting to extend my well wishes to you."
Interrupting the rabbit, the wolf dismissed the flattery, stating,
"Enough with the talk, poor rabbit. Leave the empty compliments aside. I've heard enough of such words from those who feel threatened by my power. The truth is, I'm hungry, and I want to eat you. The rest is mere nonsense."
Understanding that flattery wouldn't work, the rabbit realized it needed to make the wolf greedy and employ another strategy. Calmly, the rabbit responded,
"No, mighty wolf, I'm not flattering you. I genuinely hold you in high regard. In fact, I have a proposition that can serve both of us." Curious, the wolf asked, "What proposition? How do you plan to prove your worth?"
The rabbit explained,
"Truthfully, I am aware that I am trapped in your clutches, and I don't have the strength to escape. You are also hungry, and you can tear me apart and eat me at any moment, correct?"
The wolf confirmed.
"Yes, that's true."
The rabbit continued,
"Well then, since escape is impossible for me, I propose providing you with a better meal option. There is a nearby fat fox that has 3 times the meat and fat that I possess. The fox is so overweight that it can barely move. Its flesh is tender and delicious, making it a desirable target for many predators. However, due to its vigilance, no one has been able to catch it. If you are willing to spare my life for now, I can lead you to the fox's den and devise a plan to catch it. You can then savor the fox's meat. If you find it satisfactory, it will bring me joy. If not, I'll remain in your possession."
Enticed by the prospect of a fatter meal, the wolf greedily agreed, thinking,
"The rabbit speaks the truth. If I can obtain a plump fox, it's a far better choice. I can devour it within minutes."
Thus, the wolf said to the rabbit,
"Very well. Lead the way to the fox's den. But remember, if you have deceived me, you'll face a dark fate."
As they journeyed, the rabbit guided the wolf, eventually reaching a hill where the entrance to the fox's den lay. Instructing the wolf to wait, the rabbit entered the fox's nest. Though they appeared to be friends on the surface, the rabbit harbored ill intentions toward the fox. Inside the den, the rabbit greeted the fox, saying,
"Hello, fox. How have you been?"
The fox warmly reciprocated the greeting, expressing delight at the rabbit's visit. The fox remarked,
Welcome. I'm glad you thought of me. Please come inside.
The rabbit addressed the fox with warmth, expressing a sense of longing and the desire to reconnect.
Dear friend, I have been yearning to see you for quite some time, but unfortunate circumstances and a demanding workload prevented me from doing so. However, today luck was on my side, and I was finally able to reunite with you. It is worth mentioning that one of our esteemed and knowledgeable old acquaintances, who happened to be my guest, expressed great interest in your talents, wisdom, excellence, scientific expertise, and intelligence. They kindly requested an introduction to you during a forthcoming social gathering, which often features profound philosophical and literary discussions in their home. Your esteemed presence would undoubtedly enrich these gatherings. At present, they are by my side, eagerly awaiting your arrival at the entrance. With your permission, we can proceed into your house for a formal introduction. Alternatively, if you are not yet prepared for guests, we can acquaint ourselves outside the premises, taking a pleasant stroll and engaging in conversation amidst the open air. It is worth noting that this honorable individual holds deep admiration and regard for you, despite never having met you before. Their sincere eagerness to meet you is palpable.
The fox, renowned for its cunning and trickery, swiftly deduced from the rabbit's speech and excessive flattery that there was deception at play. It seemed clear to the fox that the rabbit's words were insincere, as a simple visit would not warrant such exaggerated compliments. Responding with tact, the fox remarked,
Dear rabbit, your generous words are quite overwhelming. You need not go to such lengths to flatter me. Seizing an opportunity, the fox then cleverly feigned forgetfulness, stating, I seem to have left the soup pot on the stove. May I be excused momentarily to attend to it and return later?
Without delay, the fox hastened to its den and peered through the window to catch a glimpse of the individual standing at the rabbit's door. Simultaneously, the rabbit reveled in delight, believing that by luring the wolf and avenging itself upon the fox, it could savor a sumptuous meal from the already prepared soup. The fox, however, observed through the window and swiftly recognized the presence of the wolf, realizing that this was an elaborate ruse orchestrated by the rabbit to ensnare it in the clutches of the wolf. Internally, the fox contemplated its course of action, thinking,
I comprehend the situation clearly. Now, I shall employ a scheme to exact revenge upon both the wolf and the rabbit.
The fox endeavored to maintain a cheerful countenance and swiftly turned back to address the rabbit, expressing remorse.
I deeply apologize for leaving you unattended. The soup pot was left unattended on the stove, and I was concerned it might scorch.
In a congenial tone, the fox continued,
Dear friend, I have eagerly anticipated your visit for quite some time, and it would bring me great joy to meet your esteemed guest. My abode is open to my friends, and there is no greater delight than spending a few hours in each other's company. However, as I am unfamiliar with this new guest and hold reservations regarding their decorum, I kindly request that you engage them in conversation at the doorstep, providing them with entertainment, while I attend to tidying the premises. I shall lay out a carpet befitting a guest and prepare a selection of delectable sweets. I shall then summon you inside.
Observing the fox's acceptance of his words, the rabbit felt contented and responded,
My dear friend, our guest is of a gentle and unpretentious nature, not one for formalities or extravagance. Nonetheless, since you wish to extend them due respect, we shall proceed according to your wishes. Let us journey through the house together, arranging it as per your preferences and preparing the food for their reception.
Subsequently, the rabbit approached the wolf and relayed the recent developments, aiming to demonstrate loyalty to the wolf and secure its own safety. In an effort to extol the virtues of the fox's succulent meat, the rabbit began praising the plumpness and delectability of the fox, asserting,
Once you encounter this fox, you shall encounter several other foxes and jackals, each surpassing the other in corpulence and flavor. I will show you all of them.
Subsequently, the rabbit and the wolf engaged in conversation, while the cunning and sly fox cunningly executed a plan it had foreseen. Sometime prior, the fox had dug a deep well within its den and concealed it with a wooden board, an old carpet, and, similarly, a hidden escape door behind its dwelling. Swiftly, the fox removed the wooden board, camouflaged the well with straw, and adorned it with a thin yet exquisite carpet, cunningly crafted to ensnare any unsuspecting intruder. Additionally, the fox artfully hung a beautiful curtain, creating an illusion of a welcoming atmosphere. Positioning itself strategically in a corner of the house, the fox prepared to escape through the secret exit. It then called out,
"My dear rabbit, I sincerely apologize for the delay. Please accompany our esteemed guest."
Filled with anticipation, the rabbit and the wolf entered the fox's den, unwittingly stepping onto the carpet, which concealed the empty void of the well. Both the rabbit and the wolf tumbled down into the depths of the well. Seizing the opportunity, the fox swiftly fled through the secret exit. Upon returning, the fox discovered the wolf engaged in a struggle with the rabbit at the bottom of the well. Attributing this turn of events to the rabbit's treachery, the fox punished the rabbit, leaving the wolf trapped in the well. The fox lifted its head and called out,
"Rabbit, where are you?"
From the depths of the well, the wolf responded,
I have punished the deceitful rabbit. Bring a rope so that I may ascend.
Amused, the fox chuckled and remarked,
Indeed, the rabbit has received just retribution. Anyone who betrays an old friend and seeks to deliver them as prey to the enemy deserves such consequences. However, you, dear wolf, are the epitome of foolishness. You have been duped by a feeble rabbit, and in the guise of a guest, you sought to harm innocent beings. Thus, you deserve this fate.
With a stone, the fox struck the wolf from above, covered the well, and liberated the forest animals from the clutches of the cruel wolf. Betraying a friend is one of the most egregious acts that can be committed within a relationship. It undermines trust and leaves deep emotional scars that may never fully heal. The consequences of such betrayal can be devastating, affecting not only the friend who has been betrayed but also the betrayer themselves. Betrayal shatters the foundation of trust that forms the basis of any friendship. Friends rely on each other for support, understanding, and loyalty. When this trust is broken, it can be challenging to rebuild the relationship, if it's even possible at all. The hurt and sense of betrayal can linger for a long time, causing profound pain and emotional distress.